for our next our next movie review is from Crystal. And Crystal, what is your movie review of The Hobbit?
Grr. Okay, let me just preface this by saying, like, Joe does so well on movie reviews, and like mine, I actually kind of like wrote down because I am not a Lord of the Rings fan follower. I've never seen any of the movies. I didn't know anything of the story, so I think that it was a little bit hard for me to stay with this film. If you're a fan of that, I'm sure this is going to be like your wet dream, because it is a really nicely made film. The graphics in it are just awesome. It was really, really good, the graphics in it. Apparently, the way it's made with like a 48 frame per second format, which is double what is normally the filmmakers use. And I think it makes kind of an odd thing. I think he's trying to make, I guess, like what the one dude did in the Avatar films and be a groundbreaker. And to me, it kind of looked like it made everything in the movie that was false, it looked faker. That way. I don't know, like, you noticed the beards looked like they were fake, and there were glued on noses and glued on hair. I don't know, maybe it was just me. I found it a little bit distracting. However, it actually is, the film itself is taken back with Bilbo, who is the main character.
Bilbo Baggins.
Yes, going back 60 years and telling some of the story that has really happened to Frodo. And
I was hearing Crystal say Frodo.
Basically, they're just going back. The people have had their land taken away from them, their mountain taken away from them, and the little dwarf people are going back to reclaim their mountain. And Bilbo is one that has been chosen by the great wizard Gandalf, who Ian McKellen, I love him. So he was my saving grace in this film, and probably the only thing. Well, no, not him. That other hot guy that's in there, Richard Armitage. Oh my God, he played that Thorin Oakenshield, who is the leader of the little dwarf people. And it just tells of their adventures going through to reclaim their land and fighting their little evil people that along the way. The scenery was really beautiful. It's got a really nice full musical score to it. I don't want to give it away. I know so many people want to see this film, and everybody's been really interested in whether.
I don't know what happens. John dies at the end.
Well, I mean, I know if you've read the books that you know what all the deal is, but you know, for it to be something that's totally against, I would not have even watched the whole thing, and I really did. I watched all 3 hours of it, and I actually did enjoy it. It wasn't bad at all.
You know, the only Hobbit movie that I've seen, I have not had a chance to see this myself yet. I just don't have the time. The only one I've seen is the cartoon version, and then all the cartoon versions of it that came out after it were kind of sucked. I've heard from other sources on this that the Lord of the Rings versions were nothing in comparison to this. This one is the story. This is the whole story. So if you saw the rest of the trilogy and then come back to this is the one you want to see.
Right, and I think that's part and parcel about why. If you know the stories, you know the characters, then you're going to be fine watching this movie. I think that the filmmaker did try really hard to introduce each character, which got a little bit redundant. It was a little bit hard to sit there and kind of get introduced to this overwhelming cast of characters, and you not know the backstory to it. But I mean, as the film went along, it really did kind of explain itself as it went, and you get introduced to how he got introduced to Gollum, and a little bit about the ring. And I don't want to give any more away, because if I go any further, I'm going to be telling you the rest of it. And, okay, so I have to give this a 3 out of 5 halos.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Nice.
I'm going to tell you the funniest thing that I found in this movie, though, is that the guy turns around and refers to his mother's cedar chest as his mother's glory box.
I
thought that was awesome.
His mom's Glory box, yeah.
That's my glory box right there. But it really was. I mean, it's really interesting to see. Really, the graphics and that was really awesome.
It's a different culture, that's for sure.
It kind of pulls you into the movie a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the original. You know, if I tell you, if they had made this movie before they made the rest of them, I think the other ones would have been made a whole lot different, and probably would have sat in a little bit better. So, and at least that's it, in my opinion. I haven't seen all of them in their full yet, so but I've yet to sit down and watch this. But of course, still got the mindset in my head of the cartoon version. So to sit down and watch a 3-hour version is going to be a bit for me to watch. So
well, it's kind of interesting to see people just to kind of like go back and read the reviews, and either people thought it was wonderful or they thought it was terrible.
Yeah,
there was no middle ground. I could not find one that just went, yeah, oh, that's okay. It was either we hate it or we love it.
Yeah. Well, I think you can generally say that about any movie, really, but. This one I'm reserving judgment until whatever. By the way, Joe, what was your star rating on that show, or the movie rather, on John Dice, out of 1 out of 5?
I go with the traditional movie ratings where it's like 1 is below average, 2 is average, 3 is above average, and 4 is outstanding.
Right. You
know, like Gone with the Wind is 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hate to give the movie 3. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely above average because it was unusual and it was original, so I'd say 2.5.
2.5? Okay. Oh, so you're going to go by the 4-star rating. All right, that's fine. Yeah. We can do 4.
Because he can't do the Halo rating.
Right. I don't believe in Halos.
Well, I don't believe in your damn star either.
Oh, yeah? Go outside and look up.
Well, come out here and bite me. I'll pull your toes off.
Boy,
you had to have been here for the
violence in the workplace.
Where you had to have been here for the pre-show to understand what that means.
Kristen, you're the only person with permission to pull my toes off.
Thank God. I'm having to fan myself here a little bit.